Hello super nerds, welcome to the channel. Mutants, like the X-Men, are seen as the next phase of human evolution. They fight to protect a world that often fears and hates them. The Sentinels, on the other hand, are their opposites. Created by humans to hunt and exterminate mutants, they nearly brought all life on Earth to extinction. If you enjoy hero stories and comics as much as we do at Hero Circle, it's very important that you leave a like to support the channel. I hope you can subscribe. After all, the channel is still new and I intend to bring a lot of content to you. Without further ado, let's get straight to the video. Initially built as symbols of human intolerance, the Sentinels have evolved to become even more powerful and dangerous machines. Although they were created to enforce the human status quo, they have become a threat to both humans and mutants. In this video, we will explore the different types of Sentinels, what makes them unique, and how they have been a constant threat to the X-Men and their allies over the years. Make sure to like today's video and comment on which mutant power you would like to have. Finally, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let's get to the video. During a debate with Professor Xavier, Bolivar Trask revealed the first Sentinels in Uncanny X-Men 14 by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Bolivar ended up being killed by his own machines when they tried to take over the world. His son Larry Trask and Stephen Lang then developed and improved subsequent generations of Sentinels. Most of these Sentinels have maintained their giant size and purple and magenta color scheme since Larry Trask's second generation machines. Each version, however, had a slightly different set of weapons to capture or neutralize mutants. In addition to the original Sentinels, Liv Trask also created the Master Mold, an even larger Sentinel that could build other Sentinels. This was revealed in Uncanny X-Men 15 by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Although the Master Mold has been partially destroyed on several occasions, its electronic brain survived and absorbed the memories of Stephen Lang, an engineer who hated mutants and took over the Sentinel program after Trask. After falling through a mystical portal, the Master Mold fused with Nimrod, a future Sentinel, to create Bastion. Even after this, the Master Mold was rebuilt and continued to pose a threat to mutant heroes and their allies. Sentinels are a constant threat, and the adaptable Nimrod has been a nightmare for the X-Men since its debut in Uncanny X-Men 191 by Chris Claremont and John Romita Jr. It comes from an alternate reality, Earth 811, and traveled to the Marvel Universe pursuing Rachel Summers with an almost unlimited arsenal. Nimrod is considered the greatest threat among the Sentinels and has killed former X-Men members in various alternate realities. On some occasions, a version of Nimrod fused with the Master Mold, becoming Bastion, while another was developed and activated by the anti-mutant group known as Orcus in the main Marvel Universe. Prime Sentinels, or Super Sentinels, used to be humans before being involuntarily transformed into Sentinel sleeper agents by Bastion using nanotechnology. When activated, their personalities are overwritten and they develop superhuman abilities, being capable of neutralizing mutant powers. On their debut, the Super Sentinels helped Bastion capture the X-Men and take over the X-Mansion. Additionally, there are the Wild Sentinels, which evolved in unforeseen ways. They are built by the Master Mold, using any available technology. Cassandra Nova, the evil twin sister of Professor Xavier, created two giant Wild Sentinels that caused great destruction in the mutant nation of Genosha, killing millions of mutants in the process. Nano Sentinels, or Sentinels, were developed by Bastion to facilitate the transformation of Super Sentinels. They are part of a series of threats posed by Sentinels over the years, showcasing their adaptability and evolution as mutant hunting machines. However, Cassandra Nova repurposed them for her own evil plans, as revealed in New X-Men 123. Thanks to Cassandra, the Nano Sentinels became an airborne disease for mutants, with flu-like symptoms that could become fatal. The X-Men managed to thwart Cassandra's plan to release the Nano Sentinels worldwide thanks to Trinary's controlling technology. While most Sentinels are built to hunt mutants, the Tri-Sentinel has always been more focused on Spider-Man and other non-mutant heroes. After the Acts of Vengeance saga, Loki fused 3 Sentinel prototypes to create this giant with 3 faces and 6 arms in The Amazing Spider-Man 329. The Tri-Sentinel was ordered to target a nuclear reactor, but Spider-Man stopped the robot with the cosmic powers of Captain Universe that he possessed at the time. After the Scarlet Witch depowered most mutants during the House of M event, the Sentinel Squad introduced a new type of robot with designs from Tony Stark, blending elements of traditional Sentinels with Iron Man-style armor. These Sentinel mechs, operated by pilots like James Rhodes, were intended to be a governmental alternative to superheroes, primarily to protect the X-Mansion and the mutant population. population. Although most Hellfire Club leaders are mutants, members like Sebastian Shaw have deep connections to the Sentinel programs through their businesses. When Cade Kilgore and several other young mutants took over the Hellfire Club, they developed several new radical models of Sentinels, starting in Wolverine and the X-Men 16. Young inventor Maximilian Frankenstein designed Sentinels that could be folded into a briefcase and had tank treads. Although he tried to instigate anti-mutant sentiments to sell more Sentinels, these machines were destroyed by a group of X-Men who possessed the powers of the Phoenix. After the Inhumans' Terrigen Mist spread across the world and began killing mutants, Cyclops' death pushed Emma Frost to the edge. While the White Queen prepared her faction of the X-Men for war against the Inhumans, she forced Forge to build Inhuman hunting Sentinels. Although the Inhuman Queen Medusa ended hostilities against the X-Men by removing the Terrigen Mist, Emma attacked the Inhumans with her Sentinels. Even so, after these gigantic machines killed thousands of her people, they were finally defeated by the Inhumans and the remaining X-Men. If Master Molds build Sentinels, the Mother Mold builds Master Molds. In House of X1, the Mother Mold was constructed in orbit around the Sun and connected to the Orcus Forge, a base that could harness solar energy through the remains of Tony Stark's Sunhammer weapon. Several X-Men died to deactivate the Mother Mold and send it into the Sun, but they were quickly revived by the resurrection protocols of the Mutant Nation. These protocols involve placing the minds of deceased mutants into newly created clone bodies. After undergoing this process several times, Wolverine left several of his dead bodies scattered throughout the Marvel Universe, complete with their adamantium skeletons and claws. Orcus collected Logan's indestructible skeletons and transformed them into Sentinel Zeros, or Wolverine Sentinels. Although Dr. Doom is one of the greatest machine makers in the Marvel Universe, he generally focuses his efforts on creating human-sized Doombots. However, the ruler of Latveria also developed his unique brand of Sentinels, the Latverians. While battling the X-Men and the Fantastic Four for custody of Franklin Richards, Doom released these giant robots, resembling himself, which targeted both humans and mutants. After Havoc briefly restored Franklin's weakened abilities, the powerful young man destroyed the Latverians with a single energy blast. A few years ago, the Canadian superhero team Alpha Flight recruited Roger Box, a technological genius who developed and used the Box cybernetic suit. When Orcus convinced the Canadian government to start hunting mutants, Roger Box combined Orcus technology with his father's designs to create the AOS Box Sentinels. Smaller, faster, and sleeker than their older predecessors, these Sentinels conducted mutant hunting missions for Department H and even captured several members of Alpha Flight. Against Tony Stark's wishes, Orcus used Iron Man's technology and likeness to build the Stark Sentinels. After Stark's company was taken over by Orcus leader Phaelong, the company began discreetly using its designs and resources to build a fleet of giant Stark Sentinels. These Stark Sentinels are formidable mutant killing machines that Orcus has used throughout the X-era, from the devastating Orcus attack on Krakoa's Hellfire Gala to leading a worldwide crackdown on mutants. They remain among the most challenging threats the X-Men have ever faced. And that's it, heroes. This was today's video about the Sentinels. Comment on the next topics you'd like to see here on the channel. See you in the next video.